All right, moving right along. Clay Guida taking on Bobby King Green. And while this is a fun fight, man, you could flip this one with Roxanne Modafferi. The women should be in this spot, I feel like. This is a shit show of a fight. It's going to be a fun one, don't get me wrong, but it's not fantastic. Clay Guida is a household name, though. Can't really give him much flack there. Beach Boss, what's up, buddy? Guida, yep, he's back. He's still sticking around. Coco Bongo, my ass looks like a catcher's mitt. Early leader for comment of the stream, my guy, Coco Bongo. All right. So, Bobby, I got to refocus here. You just blew me off my roof. Blew me off the tracks. All right. Clay Guida taking on Bobby King Green. A couple of UFC vets here. Clay Guida is just shot. I'm sorry. We have to start with that. Clay Guida's whole thing used to be durability, and it is done. Much like Frankie Edgar, he's a fighter of a bygone era, and he's been finished just way too many times. He doesn't have it anymore. He fires these wild winging hooks that leave him open for counters. He's got awkward head movement. He does bounce side to side. He's hard to hit, hard to time. He's got a very high takedown defense offense, and he looks to bully his opponents up against the cage. That's a fine game plan, except it doesn't work when you can't take a shot anymore. Bobby Green on the other side of this thing, BJJ purple belt, which you'd like to see him higher at this level of his game. But I mean, just because he never tested for a brown belt doesn't mean he's not on that level, right? He's a lifelong fighter. He's probably worth a little higher than purple, but he's always relaxed, very calm in his fights, and he talks shit. That's one thing I like to see. In the middle of the fight, he will be Nate Diaz style talking shit to his opponents. He fires hard leg kicks, and he forces every single fight into a brawl. Good head movement, good footwork, very elusive, and a very high output. In my opinion, Bobby got robbed in his last fight, and he could have won both of his last two fights. So I think Bobby clearly won Francisco Trinaldo. I feel like that was a blatant highway robbery, and he should have that win there. And he fought very, very closely with Drakkar Klose, and that was not a joke. Sorry, bad pun. It was not intentional. But what that leaves us with is that Green is 1-5 in his last 6 with one draw to mix in there. So 1-5-1 in his last 7. Not impressive whatsoever. But he had the split with Lando Venata that could have gone his way. He fought to a split with Rashid Magomedov, which could have gone his way. He should have got the win against Francisco Trinaldo. He could have got the win against Drakkar Klose. He's one of these guys who's a perfect gatekeeper, right? He's exciting. He's fun. The UFC is going to keep him around forever. He's not getting finished. He's not getting knocked out. I mean, once he did, but that was by Dustin Poirier, you know, top of the division. You can't really say much about that. He's fighting well with very talented fighters. So Bobby Green is in a much better place, in my opinion, than Guida is, and he's going to come in here with a chip on his shoulder. Somehow the dude's only 33. I have no idea. Every single time I break down a Bobby Green fight, I look at the page and I expect to see 37, 38 years old, and he's only 33. No clue how that's possible with a 24-10 record. Clay Guida, 38 years old. I told you I don't have a lot of angles, but one of the angles I do is the magic number is 40. Don't bet on a fighter that's 40 years or older unless you've got a damn good reason to do so. So if it's a close fight and you lean one way, but they're 40 years old, maybe just hold off. If you can give me a damn good reason why you should put your money there, then go for it. But if you don't have that damn good reason, stay off it. Guida's getting into that dangerous territory, but he's 38 going on 52. The amount of damage he's taken in his career is unreal. He's got 35 wins and 19 losses, 10 of those by submission. Dude gets choked out a lot. In his last little bit of a run, he is 1-2, which doesn't sound so bad, but he got subbed out by Oliveira. He got subbed out by Jim Miller, both very dangerous offensive grapplers, but both of them in the very first round made it look easy. Guida doesn't belong there with those guys anymore. And then his lone win, you ready for this? His lone win is over BJ Penn. BJ Penn in 2019, folks, if that tells you anything. The guy who can't win a fight if his mom's soul was on the line anymore because of the rough career he's had. That's the guy Clay Guida's got to win over. And he struggled in that fight. BJ Penn hurt him in that fight. Bobby's the side, folks. The only problem is I don't want to lay minus 200 on a guy who's on a 1-5-1 run. This is a spot where normally I would look at this and say, you parlay Bobby Green. He should absolutely win this fight. I think he knocks Clay Guida out. But somehow this guy finds a way to lose fights. Somehow Bobby Green finds a way to sell fights down the river. And that's the only reason that he's not locked into a big juicy parlay or something like that for me, because at minus 235, I cannot bet on this man. And I apologize for that, but I absolutely think that he is the side here. I think he's going to finish Clay Guida, like everybody else that's halfway decent does these days. Alex Ramirez, buddy, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. Glad you're enjoying it, Champino. Appreciate that. Sprinkle Bobby by submission. Yep. You know, I would look inside the distance on him with Bobby because he's got some serious power. He's Pav saying that Bobby's betting on Guida. Good opportunity to cash in on the fact that no one expects you to show up ever. Yep. Maybe a rear naked choke. Gabe in here with some knowledge. Green lands 52 strikes. Guida lands 23 strikes. Green wins a decision. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I don't know that Bobby Green has the submission offense to land the choke here and get it done. It wouldn't shock me if he does because, like we said, Guida gets choked out relatively easily, but that's not his go-to game. He likes to strike. And I don't know how bad Guida's chin is at this point. He gets subbed a lot. He doesn't get knocked out a lot. So I think Bobby Green by decision definitely has some value to it. I like that look. I got Guida going to be drunk and pissed. Hey, at least you're betting the dog, right? If you're going to have a drink in your hand, if you're going to be having a damn good time, don't lay the giant chalk. If you lose that one, then you feel awful. But if you're going to be drunk and betting on an underdog who's a UFC legend, it can't be so bad, right? Have some fun.